I didn't plan to uncover anything. That's the thing about betrayal. It sneaks in quietly, hiding in the mundane until one small detail blows everything open. It started on a Saturday morning. I was doing the usual weekend cleaning, straightening up the house while she was out running errands. Or so I thought. I opened her purse to toss in the mail she'd left on the counter, and something inside caught my eye. A small, unmarked bottle of pills. My first thought was concern. I picked it up, checked the label. Nothing. No instructions. Just a handful of white pills inside a bottle with no name, no prescription. I called her later that day, casually. "Hey, what are those pills I found in your purse?" She laughed nervously. "Oh, those? Just vitamins. Nothing to worry about." Something in her voice didn't sit right. She was too quick, too casual. The kind of response people give when they're hiding something. I didn't panic. I didn't accuse her immediately. I waited, observed, noticed the way she became secretive with her phone, the sudden late-night walks she started taking, the quick text messages she erased too fast for me to see. A week later, the truth hit me. I saw her leaving a restaurant late at night with a man I didn't recognize, his hand lingering just a little too close to hers. My stomach sank. That night I confronted her, not in anger, not in drama. Calmly I asked, "Who was that?" She laughed it off. "Just a friend from work. Don't make a big deal out of it." But I knew better. I had seen the subtle signals, the touch, the flirtation, the body language that betrayed familiarity. I decided to take a step no one would expect. I didn't want revenge in the dramatic, messy way. I wanted to expose the truth and see how she handled it. That night, I swapped the pills, carefully. I replaced the unmarked bottle with another one, identical on the outside but containing harmless sugar tablets. I waited. A few days later, she called in a panic. Her affair partner had given her instructions to take the pills regularly, claiming they were for energy or relaxation, depending on the day. Now she was feeling off, jittery, anxious, complaining to me about strange side effects, convinced she was suddenly sick. I watched silently, offering concern and care. "Maybe you should see a doctor," I suggested gently. She was frantic. I can't explain it. I feel awful. I've never felt like this." The affair that had seemed exciting, thrilling, was turning toxic for her, and I knew why. She had no idea that the pills had been swapped, that the cause of her sudden anxiety and stomach knots was entirely fabricated by me, but carefully crafted to make her confront her own recklessness. I wasn't proud of it, but I was tired of being ignored, used, and deceived. I wanted her to feel a fraction of the panic, the helplessness, and the dread I had felt when I first suspected the affair. She began confiding in me, complaining about headaches, insomnia, strange nausea. I listened, pretending to be worried, and every time she tried to blame herself for something else, I would calmly remind her, "Maybe you should take it easy, see a professional. These things can get serious." The irony wasn't lost on me. The pills weren't dangerous. But the fear of consequences, the sudden realization that her secret life could ruin her, was more than she had anticipated. Over the next week, I gathered proof of her affair. Messages, receipts, photos. When I finally confronted her, I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I laid it all out calmly. The restaurant, the texts, the late nights, the lies. I even mentioned the pills, letting her know that her life had started to spiral and she had no idea why, though I never confessed to the swap. Her face turned pale. Panic replaced her earlier arrogance. You were spying on me?" she stammered. "I was paying attention," I said quietly, "because I finally realized that being blindsided by your betrayal doesn't make me weak. It makes me alert. It makes me take care of myself, and it makes you face the consequences of your choices." She cried, begged, apologized, claimed it was a mistake, that she loved me, that she'd stop. But her words rang hollow. The fear I had orchestrated, the panic from the pills, the helplessness, had shown her that the thrill she sought outside our marriage could have real, terrifying consequences. A week later, she left. She moved out temporarily, trying to figure things out. She tried to repair the relationship, but the trust was gone. The affair continued, but now it was no longer secret in my mind, no longer a source of shame she could hide. The pills? I never told her they had been swapped. That small secret became my silent weapon, a reminder that betrayal always has consequences, even if they are subtle, even if they are psychological. In the end, I realized something vital. Betrayal isn't just about infidelity. It's about deception, secrecy, and the way someone can make you doubt reality. My swap wasn't about revenge. It was about exposing the fragility of her lies, the way she had ignored me and my feelings, and the recklessness of thinking she could live a double life without ever facing consequences. I never gloated. I never told anyone what I had done. But watching her spiral, realizing the weight of her choices, made me feel something I hadn't felt in months: control, closure, and the knowledge that I had protected myself without losing my dignity. Sometimes betrayal doesn't need confrontation. Sometimes it's enough to watch the truth unfold and let the consequences do the talking. And sometimes, small actions, like swapping pills, can reveal a toxic affair for what it truly is: fragile, reckless, and ultimately unsustainable.